So this video is not going to be exciting for some people. There's no secret indicators, no one trade that got me rich overnight. What I'm going to show you guys today is going to be boring for some people. It's going to be repetitive and it's going to be systematic. And it's exactly how I tell somebody looking to build to their first $100,000 in their account if they were starting from scratch and actually wanted to keep it. This is the process I would tell them to use. If you came here for excitement in this video, it might not be for you. But if you came here for something that actually works over and over again, then you're going to want to stick with me throughout this video because this isn't theory. This is exactly how I built my own first $100,000 in my own trade account in my portfolio. I didn't start there. I didn't start out with $100,000. I started out as a day trader. I was chasing the next move, staring at charts all day, feeling every win, feeling every loss, taking everything personally, like a lot of us day traders do, right? But at some point, I made a decision to stop doing that when it comes to day trading and taking that approach and shift to building something that is more systematic instead. I really shifted my focus entirely to quality companies, right? Dow Jones, S&P 500 companies, well-established companies that pay dividends. And I started running the exact loop I'm about to show you in this video. That shift is exactly what helped me build my first $100,000 in my portfolio, not day trading. This process I'm going to talk to you about today in this video. Now, I want to talk to you about why boring wins when it comes to trading. And here's a trap that a lot of traders fall into, especially beginners. They think that building wealth requires big, exciting moves. It takes one huge trade that just uh, shoots up your account, one lucky call option, one meme stock that went parabolic, and helped you become a millionaire overnight. But that's not a strategy. That's looking for a lottery ticket with a lot of extra steps when it comes to the market and comes to trading. It's also not coincidentally the trap that I fell into myself when it comes to day trading, and I talked about that in the last video I did. So go check that out. Chasing the next home run instead of really just building something that lasts. And the people who actually build wealth, real wealth in their accounts, they're the ones that are getting up to six figures or more in their accounts and they're keeping it. They're usually doing something different when it comes to their approach to the market that most people would probably find boring and fall asleep watching them if you knew and watch what they were doing. But that same process, that same routine, week after week, month after month, just consistency and repeatable strategies and a systemized approach to the market is what most successful traders that are building their accounts really building wealth in their accounts really do. So today I'm going to show you the exact systematic loop that I use, and it's not one strategy. It's three income layer strategies stacked on top of each other, all working together that helped me build my account to my first $100,000. So let's talk about the three layers, right? Let's dig into it. So layer number one is going to be cover call premium. So cover calls is one of my favorite strategies. If you're new to the channel, you heard me talk about cover calls before. If you've been on the channel, that's where you own 100 shares of a stock and you sell someone the right to buy those 100 shares from you at a set price at a set date. And in exchange for that, they're going to pay you a guaranteed premium, and that's cash that's going to hit your account immediately. And this is your cover call income is going to be your active income engine in your account. This is going to be like the lifeblood of your account that keeps your account flowing. It turns the stock that you already own into a paycheck, and you're going to be able to collect that money week after week, month after month. So that's layer number one, cover call premium. The next layer in the system we're going to use is dividend income. So if you're doing cover calls on stocks that pay a dividend, essentially you're going to be getting paid twice. You're going to get paid once from that premium that you collect. And then again, just from owning the shares, you're going to get dividend payouts just from having the shares sit in your account. So most people either ignore dividends because the dividend yields kind of seem low, a little small when you look at them on their own, or a lot of times people take the cash out when they get paid out dividends and they go spend it, which I understand that, right? We all want the fruits of our labor in the market, but that can be a mistake as well, right? And I want to talk about that in just a few minutes, why that can be a mistake. But that is layer number two. dividend income. Then layer number three is compound growth from the position itself, right? Now that's a quiet one. So while you're collecting premium and you're collecting dividends on those underlying shares, assuming that you picked a solid long-term company, those shares are also going to be growing in value over time. And that's a layer that doesn't pay you cash directly, right? It's passive income, passive compounding, and it grows in the background. And that's a layer that most people completely ignore. They forget about it because it doesn't feel like income because you're not actively doing anything. And that compounding is just going to work. So most people don't really think about the power of using all three of these income layers together. Almost nobody really stacks them all on purpose, right? And that's exactly what we're going to fix right here in this video. So here's the actual steps in the system that I used to build my account to $100,000, right? Well, to my first $100,000. So you're gonna want to grab a paper and pen and write this down, right? So step number one, you're gonna own a solid long-term dividend-paying stock, right? This is gonna be the foundation of what you're doing in your account, right? This is exactly why I personally stick to stocks in the Dow Jones or the S&P 500 companies, right? These are well established companies, dividend paying businesses. They're not speculative plays. And that matters because the entire loop is going to depend on you being comfortable holding these stocks in your account for extended periods of time, not just trading in and out of them, right? Then, so that's step number one. Now, step number two, every week and every month, you're going to sell cover calls against your positions and you're going to collect premium on those positions. Layer one, active cash. Step number three, on top of that, that same stock is also going to be paying you dividends on a regular schedule, right? So you got layer two, passive cash, and then stacking that on top of the premium that you're already collecting. Then we move on to step number four, and this is the part that changes everything right here, right? Instead of spending that money that you're bringing in from covered calls and the premium you're bringing in from covered calls and spending that dividend income, you're going to combine those two layers of income and reinvest the total into buying more shares of the same position, or you're going to reinvest that money into a new long-term position and just let that money build, right? And let those shares grow. And now you're building positions with that income that you're bringing in from covered calls and collecting from dividends, right? So that moves us on to step number five. Now you own more shares than you did before because, again, you're reinvesting and buying more shares every single time, which means that your covered call income that you're generating is going to slightly get bigger and bigger over time. That guaranteed premium is going to continue to grow. The more shares you own, the more covered call premium you're going to be able to collect. The more shares of 100 at a time, I should say. You got to be able to have 100 shares. But when you have multiple lots of 100 shares, you can sell multiple contracts and bring in more income. And your dividend payment is going to continue to grow bigger as well because every single share that you bring into your account that pays a dividend, that's going to grow that dividend income. So both income streams are going to grow together every single cycle that you continue to do this over and over again. Now let's move on to step number six. Meanwhile, with layer three, the value of the shares themselves is going to be compounding all underneath it, right? So while that's working, you're going to have that compounding quietly working on your behalf, completely separate from the cash that you're generating and reinvesting back in your account. That's just compounding, going to work. You don't have to do anything to take advantage of that compound growth. And then lastly, step number seven, that's the fun part right here. You're going to do it again and again and again and again. Repeat, rinse, repeat over and over again, week after week, month after month, right? And watch that strategy, watch the system and these layers go to work for you. So that's the whole strategy right there, right? You're going to own dividend paying shares. You're going to generate premium income from those shares. You're going to generate dividend income from those shares. You're going to reinvest all of that income into more shares. And then you're going to let those positions grow, that position grow. Both income streams are going to grow along with that. And then lastly, you're going to use compounding, the value of compounding in the background to grow your account exponentially over time. And then the easiest thing to do is just rinse and repeat over and over and over again. That's it. So you got three layers, three income layer strategies, one loop, compounding on top of each other, not just one lucky trade. Now you got a plan to get you to $100,000 and you got a system to do it, right? So, with that being said, I wanted to be straightforward with you right here, right? Because I'm not just a guy here on YouTube that's going to tell you that this happens overnight for you, right? This is going to be a process. This is not a get rich quick thing, get rich quick approach, and it's not supposed to be. This is a systematic process that you're going to use. It's going to feel slow at times. It's going to be boring. It's going to be repeatable, but it works, right? So if you're looking for something that works, then this is it right here. So your results are going to depend on how much capital you start with, obviously, what stocks you're going to be trading, what the market conditions are, and how consistent you are with this entire process. But what I can tell you with this system, stacking the three income layers and reinvesting them instead of spending them, that's what's going to turn a flat, boring process into a compounding and growing portfolio. So, I know this all works firsthand, right? This is the exact system I use for myself to grow my first $100,000 in my account. It didn't happen for me overnight, but most importantly for me is I had a plan, and that plan got me to my first $100,000, and I continue to use this very system and this very process to this very day. So you might be asking yourself, is this system and these strategies work so well and it's so simple? Why doesn't everybody do it? And the reason for that is because it's boring and people don't like to use boring strategies. They don't want to take boring approach to the market, and people don't have the discipline to really do boring consistently over time, right? Especially not three boring, separate boring things all stacked on top of each other. And a lot of people aren't really talking about this style of trading on YouTube. So you're just not going to find a lot of people doing this. And it's much more fun to chase the next hot stock than it is to track dividend reinvestment in your account and seeing how much premium you're collecting in spreadsheets every month. But for me, if it works, I'm making money. I like it. So this style of trading, it just doesn't feel exciting while you're doing it, right? It only looks impressive when you zoom out and you see how much your portfolio has grown over time from just doing it consistently. Then you get excited about it. And that's genuinely right there the whole game, right? That's the process. That's the system right there. It's not finding some secret that nobody knows about, some strategy that knows nobody knows about, some indicator that is just going to be magic for you and get you rich overnight. It's just having the discipline to stack these three boring income layers and consistently do it while everybody is chasing the next hot thing and chasing something louder, right? Avoiding the noise, sticking to your plan, sticking to your system, and just rinse and repeat over and over again. So if everything I just walked you through made sense in this video and you're wondering, man, how can I get into this? How can I put all this into action? Which stocks do I need to trade? Which strike prices do I pick? How to actually structure your cover calls? I'm going to teach you this live in a full detail free training I have coming up. It's called the Cover Call Blueprint, how to build your own monthly income cash machine. It's going to be happening on Thursday, August 20th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to choose the right stocks, how to structure your first cover call, how to build this system for yourself, right? We're going to walk through this live. And with that, I'm going to leave some time at the end for questions. So it'll be interactive. So you can ask plenty of questions. And it's free, but the seats are going to be limited for the webinar. So make sure you click the link down below in the description box and grab your spot. I'll put that link there. So after this video, get that seat, and we'll see you there. And lastly, if this video gave you some value, if you found something useful today, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button in the video. It helps this channel reach more people with the algorithm, so they hear the boring truth instead of checking out all these hype videos on YouTube, right? They're gonna find something that really, really does work to get them to their first $100,000 in their account. So share this with somebody as well. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm building the Profits and Lessons channel right here from scratch. So I'm working on getting to my first 100 subscribers. So Everybody that subscribes to the channel gets me closer to my goal, the first 100 subscribers. So I appreciate you guys helping me out there. It definitely matters to me more right now than you know. So definitely appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. And then lastly, you don't need a lucky trade to build wealth, right? So you need a system. You need something that stacks on itself, and you need the discipline to run it consistently. Even when it's boring, even when nobody's impressed by it, even when it feels like nothing's happening in your account, you're sticking to your plan, you're sticking to your system. You got your 3 income layers, you got one loop, you rinse and repeat week after week, month after month, year after year. It takes that long to get you to your first 100,000. Telling you, it works because it worked for me. I know firsthand. So that's it for this video today, guys. I'll see you guys at the training on August 20th. Click that link in the description box and get your spot for that. Again, my name is Courtney Golden. This is Profits and Lessons Trading, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.